We will record it and it is on now. So just be aware of that. If you don't want to be seen, I don't know, turn off your video or something like that. So welcome everybody to the On the Bus Sales Training, Consulting and Coaching's first training prior to our December 4th, 2020 trade show. And as we do with everything, let's just start with introductions and go around the room and let everybody know who you are and what you do. And, you know, one of the first things I just want to explain, we're a community from this point forward. We are gypsies. We're all going to be a part of a community. It's an online community, but we're going to be supportive of each other and kind and give referrals. And this is networking on steroids. It's networking where you are allowed to sell. And a huge part of being a part of a trade show community is just being helpful and being kind. So pay attention when people are giving their 30-second intros so you know who a good introduction is for them, because perhaps someone's going to come into your booth. You're going to be like, oh, you have 100 employees with computers? I know a good referral for you. You should meet David Quick. He's over in this booth. So it's that kind of stuff. So let's just pay attention to what everybody has to say. So Steve Siegel, let's go to you.
Okay, well, good morning. Sorry, my name is Steve Siegel. I'm with PC BankCard Merchant Services. I provide credit card processing for many local merchants in the area. I am available to go nationwide, but my sweet spot is working local New Jersey, where I can use my superpower, which is my concern and how I chat with people. What I am looking for.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm looking for introductions to small to medium merchants who I can speak to the owner of the company who is currently doing their processing, see if I can help improve the situation. And from referral sources, I like to speak with accountants who have access to other people's accounts and they know their numbers. So if you know those type of people, I'd love introductions to them. Steve Siegel, Platinum Choice Bank Card.
Okay. And normally I would tell people that are on the bus, you know, you're really not here to network and you're not here to hit on each other for business kind of stuff. All gloves are off here. You are here to get business. That is the reason for a trade show. So if Steve looks like he's a good prospect for you, go at him. You know, have fun with us. So let's just have some fun. David Quick.
I'm ready.
David Quick, Total Cover IT, your IT specialist for business. What will bring your business to a grinding halt in no time? Do you know if your computer systems are properly being taken care of? Do you even know if there are viruses on your network that could be lingering there for months? That's why you need a company like Total Cover IT to provide all the security and protection you need, the backup, and also keep you up and running. And also take care of all your Mac and PC issues. A sweet spot for us would be a professional firm, like an accounting firm, of 20 to 100 employees. But we also are offering a new program for solopreneurs and smaller businesses. David Quick, Total Cover IT, where our eye is on your T.
Thank you, David. All right, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to butcher it. Sabraya?
Sarabi.
Sarabi.
You got it. Who was that? Who was the gentleman who actually got my
He's smarter than me.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's see if I get this right. Hi, I am Sarabi Bothra from One DigiCard. So what is One DigiCard? It is the easiest way to put your foot in the door of your prospect. It's an interactive digital business card, which has all the ways how you can be contacted or social media links, anything basically that you would want. My prospect should see this. For sure, why not? Just put it in your digital business card. It can be shared via all the platforms available to you. Be a good referral source for me. Anybody in more who are good referrals for me. Anybody who's wanting more business. Thank you.
Thank you. And Sarabi, your internet is going in and out, so I'm going to ad lib for you a little bit here. and just let you all know that that funny looking box in the top corner that you may refer to as a QR code is what they do. And for those of you that have not held your phone's camera over that, I recommend you do so. And I'm going to announce this more later, but just so you all know, what Sarabi's going to do for all of you is make you, for free, a virtual background with one of these codes for the show. And you can have it for free for a month. So you're going to be working with her on giving her all the links you want. I have my YouTube page and all kinds of things on there. So if you want to get a feel for how it works, take out your phone, open your camera, and just put it, you got to maybe make me bigger, and then put your phone camera over that box, and voila, I will appear. And we can do that for you.
Yes, that's one of the ways, and you can also share it in the chat box.
Yep.
So
Or text it, or
it's
there's,
nice intro. Yes.
so we'll go into that.
Yeah, there are a bunch of ways. Yeah, we'll go
talk
into that.
about
Yes.
more later. I didn't know you could put it in the chat box. That's interesting. And maybe you can show us how to do that later. But we'll move along to Ellen. Go ahead, Ellen.
Sure. Yep.
Good morning. My name is Ellen Smoko. I'm with Foresight Performance. I'm a marketing consultant. I work with business owners to give them back the time that they're putting into their marketing that they would otherwise be able to be making money, and to make sure that their marketing is generating the leads they need. My motto is hindsight is 2020. Progress requires foresight. Again, Ellen Smoko, Foresight Performance.
Thank you, Ellen. Let's go to Renee.
Good morning, everyone. Renee for Renee's Bookkeeping. So what we do is we help small businesses, small to medium businesses keep on top of their financial numbers. And how we do that is take over their bookkeeping. We do it remotely. We will provide our owners with updated profit and losses on a monthly basis. We will track their loans, their interest. We will make sure that all their business activity is handled monthly. And at the end of the year, taxes are a snap. We work well with a lot of accountants. We don't do taxes, but we work with the tax accountants to make sure the year ends go nice and smooth. And our clients generally file their taxes on time. Might be a few stragglers who are holdouts, but in general, all our clients are very happy with our work. We keep everybody on top of their financial numbers. So if you know anybody who wants to do that, as well as QuickBooks training, we're here for them. Thank you.
Thank you. So virtually anybody who comes into your booth that owns a business is a good referral for Renee. Glenn Martins, you're up.
Good morning, Glenn Martins, Commercial Furniture Resources. We do new and pre-owned furniture. We do free space planning. We buy used office furniture. But my background is 35 years of designing people's offices and helping them reuse the current furniture they have if they want to keep it, adding some pre-owned or new where their statement areas are. We have a huge facility in Wharton, New Jersey, and a showroom in Parsippany. Glenn Martins, Commercial Furniture Resources.
Okay. Where's your showroom in Parsippany? Is that on New Road?
Yes,
Ah, got it.
I use that suite as my office for a showroom.
Okay. Marco?
Morning, my name is Marco Petersen. I'm a graphic designer at Studio Demel, and I specialize in visual communication, visual identity, branding, and logo design. So I can help your company look good and communicate the right message to the right people. So make sure that all of your communication is cohesive and compelling, and is doing the job that it should do, attracting new clients. So my name is Marco from Studio Demel.
So Marco worked with me on all my logos, and he's very good at what he does, and he's very specific and does certain things for certain reasons. And it's always, I question like why the direction of the arrow on my logo goes the way it does. And he talks about the line that's flat on the bottom. And, he has a reason for everything he does and what fonts he picks and the colors and that kind of stuff. So if you need help getting your booth, your logo to look right or where you want it, he's the guy to talk to. And it's not easy. Ellen, you went through it a little bit yesterday trying to figure out how to do it yourself, and it looked good. But imagine if a professional could help you with that, because your logo ends up on everything, so it's not something to take lightly. And Marco's a champ at this stuff. Eventually he's going to write on there for me on the bus sales training, consulting and coaching, please. All right. Who do we
Thank you,
have?
Chris.
Thank you. Is it Shelley? Is that who I see? Shelle?
Yeah. Hi. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Shelly, and I'm again here from One DigiCard. One DigiCard is again the interactive digital business card that we provide you, which is entirely customized. Now, with our help, you can easily contact your prospective clients to help them reach out to your social media handles, to give out to them the details regarding your own business. And not only this, what catches the most their eyes on our product is that you can also help them illustrate to you your pictures and your videos at the same time. So, all of this leaving behind, anyone who wants to increase their visibility can reach out to us and we're there for you.
Okay, thank you. Again, you're having Wi-Fi issues as well. I don't know if you guys are in the same location, but for some reason we're having a hard time.
Oh, was I not clear at that time as well?
Correct.
We are not in the same location. Oh, okay.
Both you are now, but you weren't then.
Oh,
Chris,
okay.
I need help with that. I didn't hear that.
So they're both from One DigiCard. They're both the people that
Oh, okay.
make these QR codes.
Okay.
I have no idea what that just was. But anyway, so yeah, we are having a hard time hearing both of you. If you want to log out and come back in, that might fix it. I don't know.
Let me check. Thank you, Chris.
Okay. So I know you guys are eager to get to the technology part, and I understand that and respect it. And we all have our fears and excitement on that part, myself included. And this is going to be a big learning curve for all of us. But let's just go through some basics first, if you don't mind. Okay, just humor me, because I've spent some time thinking about this, and I'm not going to claim to have all the answers. But I do have a lot of questions, I think, and we can work through this. And this is going to be interactive, so we'll just kind of go with the flow a little bit. So first and foremost, and I can't stress this enough, that everybody that is going to come onto this call, meaning onto the trade show on December 4th, whether you be an exhibitor or a guest, must have the latest version of Zoom. So most of us get to Zoom via an app, whether it be on your computer or your phone. And I guess you can also do it through the website. And there, I don't know if you upgrade. I don't know how that works, but I'm going to leave it to you and to tell your people to have the latest version of Zoom, or they won't be able to go from room to room. Does that make sense? If you have a question, just blurt out, because I have my notes in front of me, so I can't see you. Go ahead, Ellen.
If you don't have the latest update, when you log off of this call, don't immediately get rid of the Zoom splash panel. It will tell you you need to update. And then you just click update and it'll update for you.
I'm going to assume that people here can figure out how to update. You generally go to an about area or something like that.
Never assume.
Don't do it. Here's a tip. Don't do it now, because it's going to take you right off of here, right? Do it after we're done. But you do want to check that stuff once in a while. Okay. So what happened, we learned the other day, and we've had a couple of test drives, and they've gone pretty horribly from my side, but I don't know what it looks like on your guys' side. And one of the problem was, if you weren't up to date, you couldn't go from room to room. So you were stuck in the room you went to. So that's no fun, right? So let's just make sure. And Marco, let's make sure that's on the tickets, which we'll talk about in a minute, that everybody has to have the latest version. Okay.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Just, I updated last week after I learned how to do it last week, and
Yep.
there's already another update.
And there are great updates coming. So here's a heads up. You know what the next update's going to include? Closed captions. How cool is that? And you know what the next one's going to include? They're going to be able to translate to different languages. So we're no longer, we could be selling in Germany, in Japan. It'll be amazing. What office, right? Anyway, moving along. All right. So a lot of what happens at regular shows are equally important here. And a lot of it, it'll be a little tongue in cheek here, but just kind of follow along. So just out of my own curiosity, who here has done a virtual trade show before? Anyone? Just raise your hand. Me either.
Not me.
Okay, so just tell us if you have. All right. So when you go to a regular show, how do you evaluate it, right? How do you determine if it's something you want to exhibit at? You generally walk it first, right? You go through it first. We're not having that chance here. You guys have jumped in, and thank you for doing that. You know, you've got the guts, I've got the guts. Let's see what happens. We're going to be on the forefront of this thing. And, you know, I'm not saying we're the first people to do it, but we're the first people we know that are doing it. So let's make it up as we go and make it work for us, is my feeling. So let's evaluate these things. If you get a chance to go to one prior, go, because you could learn something and share it with us. That would be great. I've tried to go, it just hasn't worked out. But generally we walk them first. So some things to consider at a regular show is booth selection. That's not really a thing here. There's going to be 16, 17 of you, something like that. The list isn't so long. I'm going to have your company names listed on there. You're going to invite most of the guests to come. They should find you fairly easily. So location isn't that important. I did place the booth in the order of people who sent in the money, and that's how that worked. I figured that was the fairest way to do that. Things you think about at trade shows is, do you need power? Do you want to be near the bathrooms? It's all about location. Again, doesn't apply so much here. So I've done trade shows for years, and a lot of it is a little bit of luck, and it's a little bit of who you meet when, and it doesn't always happen at the actual show. It could happen right here, right now. So Glenn, you could end up being a very good customer of someone here, and everybody here could be a very good client of Glenn's. And that's some of the luck that you get to create, which has nothing to do with the show, but everything to do with being in the right place at the right time. So I think part of what we're doing here is a little bit of that. So just always be kind and open, and widen your view a little bit and think about who they might know. I mean, think about it, not to pick on Glenn, but think about the people he knows. My God, David Quick, what a center of influence for you Glenn could be, right? And you for him. You're in offices that are growing, and, you know, I don't know. I would think you guys should have a cup of coffee once a quarter or something. All right, so sometimes with these things, the invitation is the most important part. So you're all going to be asked to bring at least 10 people to the show. So let's assume you send out an invitation, let's make up a number, to 1,000 people. Or between us, we send out an invitation to 1,000 people, and 100 come. How valuable is that information to the 900 that don't come? So I want you to think about the invitation that you send out. And it's not so much for the people that do come, but more for the ones that don't. It's a touch, it's a reminder, it's letting them know that you're doing this, that you're alive and well, you're on the forefront of something. So just think about the value of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would do pre-show mailings. I would come early, I would stay late, I would do all those things you would do at a regular show. Be helpful. You know, I wrote down, bring extra duct tape. That's something we used to do. But if you see somebody struggling with technology, help them. You know, just because you get it, they might not. There's going to be things that you don't get that they might. So let's be helpful. Think about giveaways. Now, here we can't give away a bottle of water, but there are other giveaways that you could give. And maybe there's something you can put in the chat. You got to think that through. Okay. So you got to think about the trinkets and trash. We're not going to have stress balls and pens and bags and all that kind of fun stuff. It doesn't mean there couldn't be something. So let's think that through. Who's responsible for traffic? It's not just me, right? It's all of us. So we all need to bring people. We all need to invite people. So I set up an Eventbrite page last night that goes live at 11 o'clock. We have paid tickets and unpaid tickets. I don't want to collect money, but if it helps them promote it, we will. Anybody you invite comes free. So they need to come in free. I've had street signs made. They come tomorrow, and I'll be putting them up all over Morris County, support local business kind of thing with the address and the time. So I'm doing my part with this, and I need you guys to do yours. We are going to make a digital ticket that Marco's working with, and we need all of your logos. And here's a part that's imperative, that you must give Marco your logo by tomorrow. If we don't have your logo by tomorrow, you won't be on the ticket. Okay? Marco, why don't you put your email in the chat, please, so everybody has it?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris, encourage everybody to put their information in so we could download it.
Yep, please do. Put your information in the chat. Okay, the chat's going to be an important part to this show. There's going to be 2 of us running it. So that way I can let you know, I don't know, we've got an hour to go, or everybody seems to be in one booth. Let's spread them around, or whatever it is. Or Glenn, your guest is here and, you know, you're not in your booth. You know, we'll figure it out. But, you know, I have a hard time keeping my eye on the chat because I tend to have a lot going on and I don't want to be distracted by it. That's why I'm getting someone to help me. All right. So traffic is up to all of us. What announcements are you going to make to promote this? So when you guys go to networking events, Steve Siegel, this is your 3rd event of the day. Did you announce at any of those events that you're going to be doing this?
I actually did talk about it with one of the other people that I kind of had a conversation offline about something new and trying, and we got to see how this thing works. So yes, did I go, wow? No, shame on me.
No, but now moving forward at your next BNI, you will have digital card or digital tickets that you can give away. And so you let them think there's a perceived $10 value. I'm charging $10 because it's not, I don't want the money. I truly don't. But people will come if they feel there's a value. And if we gave free tickets, they don't come. Okay, so let them know that you have free tickets to give away that have a $10 value. Okay, and I don't know what people are going to be doing on December 4th from 2 to 5 during COVID. You know, as things start shutting down again and we're back in front of our computers on a Friday afternoon before the holidays, it's a great opportunity. You guys should all have gift certificates. And you might think, why? You know, Glenn might think, why do I need a gift certificate? Well, maybe I'd like to give somebody a chair for Christmas. You know, maybe I know somebody who doesn't sit properly or whatever it might be. So I would have gift certificates ready that you can email them, and you figure out how you're going to protect yourself. The beauty with gift certificates is many people buy them, not all are used. It's not what you want, but that's the reality. Okay. So maybe, are you going to debut any products at the show? Any services that you can announce? I know Lois, and a lot of people aren't here today and that will be there. Lisa's father died yesterday, and our condolences go to her. Lois has a training until 11:30, and she'll be joining us then. There's just a lot people have going on, and they couldn't make this. But Lois is going to have a grand reopening at this show. She has changed her brand name from Fitness Coaching to Fitness Knocking. And she now has a registered trademark on Fitness Knocking. How cool is that? So what I'm going to suggest is she do it from 5 to 5:30 so we can all support her and all go and hear what she has to say. But what products are you going to be debuting? Think about it. It's a real opportunity. What about raffles? What about giveaways that you're offering? I have a suggestion, and it's just a suggestion, that for every 10 people that come in, or maybe for every person that comes in, we give them the opportunity of a free gift from a vendor of their choice. So I might give away an hour of coaching. You know, Ellen, you might do the same. David Quick, you might do a free eval. Steve, you could do that. Right? Glenn, you could raffle off a chair. I've seen you do that before. Something, but think about it. So we need to be staffed right. Just like at a regular trade show, you need to be prepared to be interrupted. These things, you tend to get people in waves. Okay, I don't know if that happens digitally, but we'll figure it out. I suspect it will. But if all of a sudden we're in a conversation, your room could look just like this. You could have a dozen people in there. And what happens if 3 or 4 more come in? How many conversations can you hold at a time? So we got to figure out how to keep it moving. That's why I want everybody to use the QR codes, because you can then give them your information very quickly. Okay? But you need to figure out also how to capture their information quickly. So when you're interrupted, when somebody comes in, you can figure that out. Okay? So being staffed right is imperative. So at a lightly attended show, it's also important to be staffed right so you can leave your booth and go mingle and go talk to the people that are here and see how it's been for them. That's always important, you know, and go see where the traffic is. So I always like to have a rating system as well. So you need to be able to be agile and move quickly in trade shows. Again, you need to be prepared to be interrupted, and you need to realize that you have the potential of, let's say, having 100 people come in your booths, and some are going to be a better prospect for you than others. How are you going to know that? You're not going to remember. By the time this is done, I hope it's a feeding frenzy and you're shot. So how are you going to remember that second person who came in your booth, that they were your best prospect? So I always recommend a rating system. And I used 1 through 5 in my notes. And I would write on the back of their card if they were a dud, you know, if I saw like they had an AOL email address or something, I knew they weren't like for real, you know, no offense to anyone who might have an AOL email address, but get that fixed. But, you know, we all have our ways of knowing who a better prospect is. Have a rating system, and it has to do with how you want to follow up. So rate them 1 through 5, or figure out your own way. I use it at networking events as well. Okay. Trade shows are great for farmers and fishermen. And you guys know what I mean by farmers and fishermen, right? When you're farming, you're making contacts and you harvest them, right? You nurture them, and then they come to a place where you can harvest them. So this is where you can get your seedlings kind of thing. Fishermen, it's a great place to throw out bait and bring people into you. But I really like them for hunters. And I've always been a hunter, but it works much better when you don't have the luggage of a booth, where you can actually stalk people. You know, when you can go in when they're not busy and you've got them, they can't go anywhere, and you can have an outright conversation with them where you might not be able to get that appointment. You know, I see Dan Jonas is on here. A lot of people probably want to meet with Dan, and they can't always get him because he's always on the road and he's always moving around. Well, if he's in his trade show booth and no one's talking to him, they got him. So it's a real opportunity for hunters. Okay. Again, I would highly recommend a raffle and a draw, introducing new products, talking to your neighbors, know why you're there. What's your call to action? That's a real important one. Have fun. Some etiquette. There is no breaking down early. If you leave early, you won't be invited back. That's not fair to the community. That's not fair to your gypsies, right? We're all one. We're in this selling community. We've had multiple shows where at 5 o'clock we're shutting down and people are still coming in. But if they come at 4:30 and you guys have packed up and gone home, that's really not fair. So be staffed right. It's only 3 hours. It's from 2 to 5. All right. So just like at a regular trade show, we need to make sure you can handle the traffic and you're staffed right. I know I'm repeating myself, but I feel it's important. Don't try to do this alone. There's nothing worse than you being in your breakout room and then nobody's in your room. All of you are going to have 2 rooms. So if you want to have a private meeting, you can do that. Or we just won't give you a breakout room if you prefer. But I would recommend having a partner there with you, and one in the breakout room and one in the main room or something like that. But think it through, what to do when you've got more than one person come in. How you're going to share your contact information if you're not going to use a DigiCard. Are you just going to put it in the chat every time? I don't know. I recommend getting the DigiCard, and it's free, so why not? I hope you'll continue with it, but they're willing to give it to you for a whole month prior to the show. Sounds pretty cool to me. How are you going to get the visitors' information? That's the hard part, right? How are you going to do that quickly and correctly, where you're going to follow up? How are you going to follow up? What are you going to say when somebody comes into your booth? And you're going to want to take notes here. So I want you to think about the conversation and what it looks like. And we can role play on this a little later if there's time, if you want to. But here's what I thought through. And I know where I want to go with this. And I got to tell you, don't try to close at the show. I think the objective is to set up appointments, right? So get enough information where you want to meet with them and they want to meet with you, and get that scheduled and, take it from there. But I wouldn't try to close anyone there, especially if you have a long selling process. But if somebody walked into my booth, and I never get the chance because I'm facilitating this for all of you, I would say something like, "Hi, thanks for coming. What brings you in today? Who are you looking to meet? Why'd you stop by my booth?" I'd want to know, right? Have you used products or services like ours before? How did it work out for you? When we've asked a few questions and we've brought them down that rabbit hole a little bit, we can say things like, what do you think it's costing you to not use our product? Can we schedule a meeting? Something like that. But have your script ready. Have your questions ready. I wouldn't try to just wing it because you're going to go long. Okay? So those are, I'm going to mute her. Those are the thoughts I have for right now, and some of the things I want you to think about before we jump into the next of trying this live. Any questions, any thoughts, comments? Go ahead, Ellen.
I have a question. When we're in the rooms, will the chat be specific to the room, or is the chat specific to the entire event?
Chat specific to the entire event.
Okay. So if somebody puts
and let me preface this by saying, I should say that by saying, I don't know. But I believe everybody can see the chat.
So
I believe that on Zoom that if you're in a breakout room, you can only chat with the person or the people that are in that breakout room. Because I tried it to kind of communicate to somebody else, so I believe. So I guess you could use that, for example, as a sign-in list. Is that when somebody jumps into your room, you can put your information in, then you can jump out, and that information will be in your room. The question is now you have to be on top of it to collect that data. And I'm probably saving it several times as you're going along through your show.
So what I'm going to suggest we do in a little bit is have a mock meeting And as there's 9 of us here, I'll put 3 of you as in booths and 6 of you come in as attendees, and then we can switch and try it again. Okay, so we can practice this stuff. And to be honest, it's more practice for me than for you. Okay. Questions, comments, please? Marco, do you have something?
No.
Okay.
Marco.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How do we make a breakout room if we're not a host?
They're already made for you. I've taken care of that already. All of you have your own breakout rooms. You all have 2 booths.
And then you're throwing people into our rooms?
I'm only starting them in the room of their choosing, and then they bounce around from wherever they want to go.
Oh, okay, that's you said this is a feature of the new. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Now, I've never been the attendee, so I don't know what it looks like from your guys' side. I can only tell you what it looks like from the God spot kind of thing.
You may not know the answer to this either based on what you just said, Chris, but I wonder, are the breakout rooms also visible to the attendee? Because at the bottom of the screen, you'll have, on a Windows platform anyway, you'll have an icon that you can select the room to go into. And if each of us is given 2 booths, we might have, that might be visible, which means that if you have 2 people, you actually have to have 1 in each of those rooms. Or somebody could potentially find you. They're looking, let's say they're looking for you, Chris, and there are 2 rooms, and they click on one of the 2 rooms assigned to you, but that's not the room that you're in.
They're all labeled by your company name, and it says booth, and a second one with your company name that says meeting room.
Okay.
So I've already made those for you. That was
I have a
part of why
question
I needed
for-
your information.
Sorry, I have a question for Marco. In order to get logos, what format do you need? I mean, if I take a picture and send it to you, is that enough? Or are you going to need something specific in a specific way?
Normally, if I was going to print this, I would need this as a PDF or in a vector file. But since this is just for screen, if you have a JPEG or PNG file, that would be good. So a PNG or JPEG file.
So
And
the
then-
JPEG should still be a decent quality, so I would make it 300 DPI or more. Would you agree with that, Marco?
It doesn't actually need to be that big. Like the one Renee just sent me is pretty small. Like that's 13 kilobyte, which is okay for screen. So the main issue for the resolution is if you want to print stuff. So
Did you
But,
just
yeah.
wait? Did you just say kilobyte? Are you metric with?
I'm definitely metric and kilometers for sure.
I didn't know that worked on computers too. Okay.
Yeah, so you have megabytes, and then you have no, it's not kilobyte, but it's KB or
Yeah.
whatever that is.
It is kilobytes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask Marco, the image needs to be transparent, the logo that we sent you, because you're going to be putting it on a particular like color or whatever, right?
Yes. So in this case, it's going to be put on a white background, so it can be a JPEG as well. It doesn't need to be transparent because it will be put on a white background.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe I can share my screen and just show the ticket so you know
Yep.
know where it's going to be. So can I share my screen,
Yes.
Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
just so you guys know, Doreen's also joined us, who can handle any of the technical questions you might have in a second. But go ahead, show us, Marco.
So I believe you see my screen now. So this is like a bus ticket because this is on the bus. So this is a ticket to the on the bus trade show. So this is the front ticket. So this has all the information.
So where it says where, Marco, I'd like you to say most recent version of Zoom. Or something like that. We need to make that crystal clear. Okay, go ahead, keep going. We lose them? All right, Marco froze, but you see on the, you guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so on the bottom of the second page, that white box is where your logos will go.
Now you're gonna send us these tickets when?
Our plan is tomorrow.
Okay.
It'll probably be Thursday, knowing because somebody's gonna hold us up and being late getting us their logo.
That would never happen.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Don't be that person. This is a community.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah.
Chris, can I add something to this?
Yep.
So because everybody is sending in their logo and because I am making their DigiCard, wherein I can put the logo too, depending on if you want your logo or not, can they send the logo to me as well, along with their headshot? So in the DigiCard, you have a place to put your company logo and you have a place to put your headshot. One has to be there, but you can also have both of them. Totally up to you. So if you are the face of the company and if you want your face to be seen by the people, then sure, give me your headshot as well, or I can just put your company logo.
Right. So everybody got that? So why don't you put your email?
Your email needs to go in the chat then. I don't see your email.
Let me put it again, just a second.
I think it's because you went out
And-
and in.
And
we-
Sarabi, do you need the logo in JPEG?
So
PNG?
if you, no, it doesn't matter to me, but if you do have a transparent file, that looks really amazing because the backgrounds are going to be customized, right? They're not going to be white. So if you have a transparent file, that would be amazing, or else I can work with any file that you have. JPEG, PNG, doesn't matter.
Okay,
So I can tell you what will make for a really bad experience for you is if you have a Wi-Fi problem, if you have an internet problem. So Marco just totally lost, he's out. We can't get him back in. He was in the middle of presenting. Imagine if that happened during the show. So you need to be somewhere where you've got stable Wi-Fi, stable internet for 3 hours. Don't rely on your phone.
Now,
Can I just add something that if they can plug in if they can have a wired connection, it would be better than using Wi-Fi if they have a concern about their connection.
Okay. By the way, that's Doreen, who's my co-pilot on this thing. My partner in crime here. So Doreen, there was a question about the chat and breakout rooms, whether or not when you're in a breakout room and somebody's putting information in the chat, does that stay within the boundaries of the breakout room or is that for everyone to see? You're muted.
That's for everyone, but we could test it too, just to make sure for your meeting it's like that.
Right. That was the answer, is we're going to test it.
so Chris, what happens is if.
Sorry about that.
Marco,
my
hold
computer
on.
just
Marco,
died.
wait, hold on. Go ahead. Glenn.
What happens when I'm here in Alabama and she's in New Jersey? And we have 2 booths. So we're gonna be able to both address people or we're gonna both be in the same room?
Of course, just like it is here.
Okay.
No problem.
So she can talk to somebody as well as I can be talking to somebody, or we're both talking to the same person?
Yeah. So you could do it either way. So if you want to talk to them together, you don't go in the breakout room. If you want to talk to separate people, one goes in the breakout room and one stays in the main room.
Okay.
But you need to think that through. I would have one working triage where the others kind of knocking them down in the other room. But you got to role play that.
Well, I'm gonna probably be in the room talking to people first, and she's gonna be in the showroom, be able to show people furniture and stuff. Is our
Perfect.
plan.
That sounds like a great plan. I like that. All right, let's bring Marco back. All right.
Hey, Chris, one more question. Will we be allowed to share our screen
Yeah,
at the show? Okay.
Doreen, they can do that, right? Doreen, stay
Yes.
muted. Yep, they can do that, right?
Yes.
All All right, Marco, go. So we just talked about that. So a great way to have a bad show is going to be to have a bad internet connection. So we're going to have to figure that out with you, or you're going to have a horrible day.
It's not my connection. Sometimes it just happens. We all know it. Sometimes it just happens.
Maybe
But sorry
there's a way
about
to
that.
Plug in. Maybe there's a way to plug in versus to do it on Wi-Fi. But anyway, go ahead.
It just happens. But yeah, sorry about that. So this is my ticket. Or the ticket. You see that my screen?
Yep.
So yeah. So you can pretty much just give me a JPEG. It can be on a white background. It's fine, or JPEG, and then we will put all the logos in this box. And then you will get a PNG you can put, or a PDF that you can send to your network.
So Marco, before we lose you again, I just want to make sure you heard what I said. Where it says where on the front, where it says Zoom, I want it to say you must have the latest version.
Yeah, and it says right there, please update to the latest version of Zoom version.
But put it in the where as well, or something. Let's make it crystal clear, okay? And again, Marco, stay with me for a second, that if we can get the logos in today, can we have this tomorrow in a digital format that we can send out to people?
Yeah, if I have all of the logos in my email today, yeah.
Okay, so then we would have it tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow morning, yeah.
And is there a way that people can put this in their email signature?
Yeah, so the way that I did it when I sent it to you, Chris, that you could put a JPEG into your email signature. It's going to look best on desktop. On phone, of course, it will be smaller, but you can get a JPEG that you can put into your email signature and then put in the link that goes to on the bus so they can sign up.
Okay. Any questions on that, you guys? You guys like the ticket? We're good so far?
I actually do love the ticket because it is so in sync with
Learn to
your
understand you much better
name.
if I can get familiar with the way you talk. I need.
We're gonna
was
really
that
need to
Siri?
work on that.
So I'm sorry. What I was saying was I really like the ticket because it goes in sync with your logo and your name. Perfect branding. I was asking if I can put this in a couple of posts, like, you know, and I think we all can.
Yep.
On social media. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't want anybody posting the password. So the only thing that should be posted is a link to the registration on my website. And I do have fear of Zoom bombers. So Marco, I'm going to stop sharing your screen so I can see everyone. Whoever's got the baby, let's mute that, please.
That was me. Sorry.
Okay, let's mute you. So I have great fear of Zoom bombers. This is the kind of thing they would love to bomb. So I don't want anybody putting the password out there. Okay, so they have to register and they have to go through me to get to you so we can make sure that they're legit. And one of the questions on the registration form is who invited you? Does that make sense? Has anybody ever been in a meeting with the Zoom bomber?
Yes.
I have.
It's memorable, awful. It would shut down the show. And then we would just reopen it and everybody has to come back in, but it's a royal pain in the ass, so we don't want to deal with that. Okay?
Chris, can I add that the newest version on a Windows computer is 5.4.2 and Mac, I know the number is different. So on that.
5.04, I think 1.
5. Okay. So I don't know if you want to change it on that ticket.
Well, it should just say the latest version.
Yeah, it should.
That's all. Is Marco still here? I've got more
Yes.
on screen. There he is. Okay.
May I suggest that you word it, update your Zoom prior to attendance because people won't know what the latest version is. They may think they have the latest version.
Perfect. And that includes all of us. Okay. Any other questions before we give this a test drive? All right, I'm going to make Doreen the co-host. And I'm going to go in the other room and get ready for you.
Chris, I don't see any breakout rooms.
We're going to go into the trade show room. So we're not in there right now. I'm going to leave you and go in there. Okay. So how do I make you the co-host? Let's start there. Oh, I gotta find you. There you are. No, that's not gonna work either.
Go into participants.
Oh, I'm minimized and it takes away participants. Yeah, it's in there and then you click more. Stop video, spotlight everyone, allow record, rename, put in waiting room, remove report. Well, I have the other camera, so if I end here, that should stay on. What's gonna happen if it ends? Oh, you know what we can do? No, I can't even give
So,
you the,
Chris, you're recording under the co-host. You're
yeah,
on there twice.
right. That's so I can leave without ending the call. So let's see what happens if I leave. I'm gonna go open the other room
Why are you a co-host and not a host?
because I need Doreen to be the co-host also. It takes two of us to do this.
Oh, you have to be in the host position to do anything like make people co-host, just so you know. If you want to make someone else the,
Oh, so I can go to the other machine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We're getting there, sorry. Okay. All right, I think this is gonna work out fine. So I'm gonna leave you. You've got Doreen here if you want to talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna text her the link and then she's gonna put it in the chat. Who here wants to be in a booth first, just so we know who's going where and who wants to be a participant? Any preference? All right, let's do top row. Steve Siegel, David Quick, and Glenn, you're gonna be our people in the booths. Everybody else is gonna be a participant, okay?
Okay.
Chris, email me the link. Don't
Yeah.
text it, email it.
Okay, so it's Glenn, David, and Steve. Okay, give me a few minutes.